Hi, my name is Koppel, and I'm a starting strength coach.
My name is Nicole Rutherford, and I'm also a starting strength coach. We are both gym owners who have, Ina got the chance to train thousands of women in her gym, and I got to work at my gym in San Diego. We are now both platform coaches for starting strength, and today we're going to talk to you about why women should switch to threes.
So we've had a lot of experience coaching women, and some of the things that we noticed when a woman is running her novice linear progression is that oftentimes women will start failing their fives. And they're under the impression that they have to keep running their 3x5 for as long as they can in order to get the most gains out of the program. But what happens is they hit a wall. And it's not always necessarily because of lack of weight gain or lack of recovery. It could be something else is going on, although body weight is a big factor for women in progress. It could be that it isn't just that you are failing because you're not recovered. It could be you're failing because you're not stressed enough.
Yep. And oftentimes we'll see them fail, usually the last rep of the last few sets. So we might be able to get through that first set of 5, and then we're not able to complete all 3 sets of 5. So oftentimes women need to switch to triples sooner. We have to do this because we're not able to contract enough motor units in order to cause enough stress to therefore have an adaptation occur. So we typically recommend switching from 3 sets of 5 to 5 sets of 3. Males are usually able to work in a percentage around 85 to 90%, where women are able to work and recruit 75 to 85% of our motor units.
And motor units are muscle fibers that are attached to a nerve. So a nerve is attached to your muscle fibers, and a man can recruit more muscle fibers per contraction than a woman can. And so in other words, a man is really working closer to his max than a woman is. And because of this, we're really not stressed enough, and so it's not causing enough of an adaptation. So the issue isn't really, am I recovering enough? Did I gain enough weight? Yes, that's something that we tackle in the beginning of your program, but if a couple of months in you're failing your 5s, it's time to switch to triples because you need more exposure to heavy weight more frequently during the week than a man does. And ladies, don't be upset about it because it just means we can go harder longer than a man can. And so that's one of the things that we've learned in coaching women is do your 3s and make progress much better than just doing 5s and failing at those reps. And then another thing is, we talk about body weight. Yes, at the beginning of the program, women who are underweight, oftentimes a trainee will be very lean. In order to get stronger, we have to encourage them to gain some weight, and the dreaded 5-pound conversation comes into play. Women are so scared to gain weight because they imagine that they're going to start, really bloating up, and what we want you to do is just get all sloppy and fat, when really it's not the case at all. In order to protect the progress and the muscle development, you're going to have to add a little bit of body fat. And that's going to be okay because your body's going to take shape and look a lot differently than it does now. I know Nicole has been coaching a lot of women recently, and her advice to them is to gain weight, and I know you run into a lot of resistance.
Absolutely. And just as an example, when I started lifting, I started off squatting 85 pounds, and my squat has went up to 340 pounds. I have also put on about 20 pounds of body weight since I have started lifting, and I can tell you that it's actually been all positive results and changes from the 20 pounds of added muscle mass onto it. So most women are very resistant. As Ina said, no one wants to put on 5 pounds of body weight, and although that might not be the case for every female we do train, there are some that are going to be underweight, and you'll notice with 5 extra pounds added on you, you'll get a little bit longer of your linear progression, but you're also going to notice that those are positive results where you'll see a leaner waist, more musculature,
nice
and
butt.
a really nice butt. So
you could look at somebody who weighs 130 pounds and doesn't lift at all, and then somebody who weighs 130 pounds and is a lifter, and their shape will be different. You have to remember that what you're doing when you're starting a lifting program is you're really bringing out your athletic aesthetics. You'll start to look like an athlete versus somebody that's not lifting, no muscle mass, and just gaining body fat. Things will be distributed differently around your body, and you will really like the way that you take shape. And then in the end, if you're strong enough, losing body fat when you need to is always easier to do than when you don't have enough muscle mass and not enough strength to do so. So do your 3s, gain 5 pounds when you're starting a program, and also, ladies, you're not going to get bulky.
Don't be afraid of getting bulky. It's not going to happen.
As you can tell from Nicole and I, and believe me, we're crushing it in the gym, and we're doing our best to get as strong as we can. And I can tell you, I'm 50 years old. How old are you?
26.
Okay.
But you're not going to get bulky. What we usually see is most females, when they start training, they're going to put on, I would say we've worked with many females that will put on 5 to 10 pounds of muscle mass. Over a year's time.
Yeah.
They lose 5 to 10 pounds of body fat. Their waist is smaller, their pants fit better, their shirts fit better, and they're happy with how everything is.
They're happier with how they look. And one thing that I've really seen tremendous benefit in is that, since I'm 50 years old now, I've been working out my whole life. I've never been in better shape than I am now. I feel great. It's easier for me to lose body fat, build bone density. I feel young, I look younger, and it's easier for me to stay fitter, and I eat more than I ever have. And I know a lot of women who reach midlife, who go into menopause, have a difficult time keeping body fat low, and I'm telling you, you become a lifter, you build some muscle mass, and you really can stabilize your metabolism. And that's one of the biggest benefits for women who are in midlife, to become lifters, to really stave off osteoporosis, to mitigate the effects of menopause, and you'll be able to control body fat while you still can enjoy a diet that you enjoyed when you were younger. And that's another perk. So, women, do your threes. Ladies, don't be afraid to bulk. Don't worry about putting on a little bit of body fat while you're building muscle, because it's there to help preserve it. And remember that this is also to prevent frailty and aging. And if you want to keep your youth, barbell training, strength training on a proper program is the way to do it.
Absolutely. And even at the opposite end, for all the younger athletes out there, or girls in their early 20s, this is the best possible thing you can do to set yourself up for when I would love to look like Ina when I'm her age. And as an athlete, when I was younger, I've seen so many injuries. So for even younger girls that are hitting puberty, this is the best thing you can do to increase your performance on the field. If you're working with athletes, they're going to be stronger, less injuries, and set them up for a good basis when they are young adults and don't know how to exercise out of college. So I think that's been one of the biggest benefits. As starting this when I was 18, going into my early 20s, I knew how to properly eat to fuel my body and put on muscle mass without just trying to starve myself to get lean.